Hi guys, so I'm going to read Amazing Spider-Man number 125. So this was published in October 1973. This will go in the Spider-Man playlist and the 1970s Marvel playlist.
Spider-Man, stay back! You can't save me!
No! No! I won't let you die! Not like Gwen! Not like Gwen! The Man-Wolf strikes again. Stan Lee presents The Amazing Spider-Man. Jerry Conway, writer. Ross Andru, artist. John Romita and T. Mortarello, inkers. Artie Simic, letterer. Dave Hunt, colorist. Roy Thomas, editor. Wolf Hunt. It's not been a good week for our web-slinging hero. 2 deaths haunt him. One of the woman he loved, the other of his best friend's father. And as if that weren't enough for our one hung-up college student, for the second time this evening, he's about to be attacked by a rampaging man-wolf. My spider sense, it's acting up, tingling, warning me of danger. Got to roll to my feet. Now! You! The Joker who attacked Jonah Jameson. What the hey are you doing here? So that was last-ish. Roy Thomas. Look out! You're pushing us over the edge! We're going to fall! Man, you really are crazy. The way Jonah jumped on me for fighting you a while ago, I thought this werewolf bit was some sort of stunt. Something Jameson worked up to trap me in his apartment, so he could blast me into that crummy newspaper of his. But even JJJ couldn't pay a man to go this far. Not to the point of suicide. Guess you're for real, Bunky. Which doesn't quite explain why you want to attack me. What's the matter? Don't like the company? Too bad. Just when things were getting cozy. Don't fret though, pal. I'll be back real soon. What's the use? My heart's just not in the snappy patter. It doesn't seem to be anything anymore. Not even the idea of a good, clean fight. It's Gwendy, of course. I can't get her out of my mind. I just don't want to. I couldn't care less about this clown. I couldn't care less why he wanted to kill Jonah, or why he tried to kill me. Nothing matters. Now that Gwendy's dead. Not even, it seems, my own survival. But then, as our morose hero chances to glance down at his struggling assailant, wait a minute! That pendant! I've seen it before. But I'm blasted if I can remember where. Huh? Whoops! I blew it. Lost my attention. My grip. And next on the list is my life. Yet, before the fatal lunge which will probably end our wall crawler's painful introspection, a new element is added to the picture. The moon. It's setting. And if I know my legends, that means you're due for a transformation. Let's see who intimidates whom then, buddy boy. Just as I thought. As soon as you realize what's going to happen when the moon goes down, you split. Sorry, pal. You're not getting off that easy. Suddenly you've caught my interest with that pendant thing. And there's no way I'm letting you slip out of my hands until... Looks like I forgot about that scratch you gave me a couple of hours ago in Jameson's pad. Didn't think it was all that bad. But I guess I was wrong. After all, Why do you do these things to yourself, Parker? Why? Why? Though he isn't aware of it, and would deny it if told, our hero has just triumphed over his inner turmoil. Slowly but surely, he's regaining a portion of the enthusiasm he once thrived on, the interest in exploring the mysterious and unknown, an interest he lost when Gwen died at the hands of the villain called the Green Goblin. Returning now to his apartment, he's already considering this new mystery, as well as returning his attention to an old one. Harry's still gone. It's been a week now. If he hadn't shown up for a moment yesterday, I'd begin to think something had happened to him, aside from having his father die. I can't really blame him for dropping out of sight. It's what I would like to do, and it's what I would do if I hadn't already fouled up my school record so badly. It'll take months to straighten things out. Hey, that's a pretty bad cut. Lucky I haven't passed out from blood loss. That's all I need. On top of everything else, I'm going to be anemic. Come on, Parker. Snap out of it. You've got to think, Mr. Hotshot, student and boy photographer. Where have you seen that pendant before? It could mean the answer to some heavy questions. Like, who is the man-wolf? Why did he attack J. Jonah Jameson? And most important of all, why would old Jonah, good old lovable tightwad Jonah, want to protect a monster that tried to kill him? While our wearied hero takes some much-needed rest, let's look in on the other members of our cast a few hours later in a coffee shop near the campus, as Mary Jane Watson has an unorthodox breakfast with an old friend.
Hey, pretty lady. What's wrong? You're looking pretty down. Come on, give us a smile. Grin for old Flash Thompson.
How's this, Flash? Bright enough for you? Sorry if I haven't been my usual bouncy self. I guess I've been brooding about Petey again. It's a habit I'm going to have to break.
And how, MJ? The past couple of days you've been as much of a bummer as Parker. Sure, he's had it rough, but even before all this happened, he was about as much fun as a submarine with open windows.
Speaking of fun, look who's just dropped in.
Harry, where have you been, Tiger? The gang's been looking... Harry?
Who? What's with this troop? Is there some sort of epidemic going around?
Stop it, Flash. You know both Petey and Harry have really gone through a lot the past week or so. Give them a break, will you?
Sure. Just as soon as they give us a break, MJ. Grief only goes so far, kid. Then it gets to be self-pity.
Don't listen to them, Harry. They don't understand what you're going through.
And you do, Mary Jane? Fat chance. I don't need your false sympathy. Go shovel it on Parker. After all, he's the guy you've been seeing lately. I'm only the guy you're supposed to be going with. Remember?
Harry,
Stuff it, sweetheart. Just get out of my sight. Before I do something we both regret.
Don't, Harry. Please, don't.
Move!
Say, MJ, what?
Maybe we better butt out, Flash. Silencio, dig? Elsewhere this same morning, on a shady block of residential brownstones, overlooking the Hudson River. This is it. My son's apartment. Do I dare go upstairs? It could mean the end of everything I've ever worked and hope for. The beginning of a nightmare. But then, I don't have much choice, do I? I didn't make the name Jonah Jameson the household word in this city by ignoring facts, even unpleasant facts. All I can do is pray I'm wrong, for my son's John's sake, and heaven help me for my own. The door's ajar. There's someone lying on the couch. John? Son? Are you there? Blast it, boy! Answer me! Oh, dear Lord. That costume. I recognize it anywhere. It's true, then. My son is a man-wolf! John! John, wake up! This is your father talking to you. I demand an explanation. Do you hear me? I want to know the meaning of this. At once. Dad, is that you? Of course it's me, John. And I'm alone. Do you think I can involve someone else in this disaster of yours? Now, will you tell me what's happened to you? What sort of insanity? I wish I were insane, Dad. It'd be easier to accept than this. For a moment, J. Jonah Jameson stares at the man he calls his son. And when he speaks again, his voice is softer, and some of the defensive anger has left his stance. Tell me, John, please. I want to help. If only you could. There's nothing you or anyone can do. This is my nightmare. I've got to get out of it myself. Just as I got into it. All by myself. It started 6 months ago at Cape Kennedy, with the takeoff of a special unscheduled moon flight. One that received no publicity, because officially, no flight occurred. I can't tell you the reason for our mission. It was and is top secret. But in every way, it was the same as the previous public moon flights. In every way, that is, but one. I found something on the moon's surface. A rock. The strangest rock I'd ever seen. Right then, I was determined that it would be mine. And right then, I sealed my doom. Back on Earth, I had a friend who worked in the quarantine center. With a little coaxing, I got him to borrow the moon rock for me. I didn't think one more rock would matter. There were already so many ore samples, each one pretty much the same as another. I had my rock made into a pendant, and took to wearing it around my neck. Didn't think much about it at first, until one night, I was taking the turnpike up to New York for a late dinner date with my fiancée, Christine. Something happened to me. Something inexplicably. Something I still don't quite believe, even after all that's happened to me since. That's funny. Suddenly, I feel tired, exhausted. Mustn't be getting enough sleep. Either that, or it's this blasted night driving. It wasn't the night driving. It was the moon. Through an opening in the clouds, it poked its silver face. The sudden light touched me. I glanced up, and it was then that it began. The pendant glowing. Something about the moon. Lord in heaven, what's happening to me? I lost control of the car, swerved from the road, and crashed.
What's the matter with you? You crazy? You almost got us killed. Hey, I said you almost
That's how it started. Somehow that driver escaped. I wandered into the Pennsylvanian hills, and when I woke the next morning, I found myself half naked in a rain-filled culvert. Every month since then, I've been transformed. And to date, none of my efforts to stop that transformation have succeeded. Not even the radiation suit I had made to cut out the lunar rays. The first time I wore it, last night, the suit came apart. Just like my chances to see this madness through alive. Don't talk like that, son. It's obvious you haven't thought this out at all. Why not just take off the pendant? Dad, try not to treat me with the contempt you save for your employees. I have tried to remove the stone, but it's too late. It's grafted itself to my skin, permanently. 7 hours. That's how long Peter Parker slept since falling exhausted to his bed. 7 hours. And now it's the middle afternoon of a new day. I'm going to have to take it slow today. The cut on my chest is still a little sore. And I'm not too certain about that bandage I made up last night. Can't worry about it now, though, since I'm finally functioning like myself again. And I want to make the most of it, as long as it lasts, which means getting in touch with a friend of mine at the Daily Bugle. Joe Robertson, boy editor. How's it going, Robbie? Still putting up with JJJ? Old buddy, there's a favor I'd like to ask about a certain pendant.
Spider-Man! You fool! You're gonna get yourself killed, being here.
Say, is that any way to greet a pal? If I didn't know better, I'd swear Jameson's gotten to you. Uh-oh. There he is, officers! Fire!
Jonah, no!
Terrific. Just to make my life complete. Tear gas! Okay, gang. I can take a hint. You don't want me? You don't get me. Oh boy. Got more of that gas than I thought. Can't get my balance. Eyes watering. Senses spinning. Must still be pretty weak from that cut. Too much. Coming down too soon. Can't handle it. Falling.
Lying stunned in an alley far below, our hero misses a bit of dialogue he might have found illuminating. We, however, are somewhat more fortunate. Why, Jonah? Why'd you do it? Bringing those policemen here, waiting for him to show up.
I did it because I had to, Robertson. He's a menace. A callous, low-lying murderer.
Jonah, you know there's no proof Spider-Man killed Norman Osborn.
Then how about this, Robertson? I hate him because he's a glory hound. And because while he's stealing headlines, good men are suffering without a word. Without anyone caring whether they live or die.
And if you believe that, you may not care about another scene an hour later, when Mary Jane Watson opens her door to discover...
Petey!
Hi, MJ. Mind if I come in?
What happened to you, Tiger? Somebody run you over with a Mack truck?
Feels that way.
And you came here to get over it, right? You take a lot for granted, Bright Eyes.
Huh? Look, Mary Jane, I'm sorry if I...
You're sorry? Thanks a lot, Mr. Parker. Man, you are unreal. Every time I see you, you're bummed out. What do you think this is, handsome? A daycare center? Listen, you want to take me dancing. That's just fine. But if you think I'm... Hey, You're really out of it, aren't you?
But, in the instant before Mary Jane can relay her guard, the memory of the morning's incident comes surging back, and with it, her later decision not to get involved.
Out, Tiger. Call me when you're more cheery. Till then, chill it, dig?
Sure, MJ. I dig. See you around sometime. 4 hours. The time elapsed since our hero's meeting with Miss Watson. Now we turn to another approaching confrontation between John Jameson and his demure fiancée, Christine Saunders.
It's not like John to ignore a date. I hope he isn't sick. He has been acting oddly these past few weeks. That's funny. There's no answer. And I could hear the bell ringing upstairs. And if that isn't John up in the window, I need glasses. He wants to pretend I'm not here. All right, I'm not here.
And upstairs, now it's your turn, Dad. Better leave. Something changes in me when I become that thing. I want to hurt the people I love. Like Christine. And like you.
Now, son, if you're trying to tell me the reason you attacked me was to kill me, that's utter nonsense. You wanted my help. Don't you see that, John? You came to me for help. And you couldn't stop yourself, your animal self, from...
With a lunge, the man-wolf reaches the skylight, glittering overhead. A pause, an instant of scrabbling, the skylight lifts, and the man-wolf is free. Then, as the lupine figure swings over the roof edge and drops to the alley below, he lands in the midst of a pathetic tableau, unfortunately not unfamiliar to the streets of New York. A tableau which is shattered by a snarl and a scream. But before the man-wolf can complete his attack in the manner of the beast, he's become... A sudden sound startles him, and he turns to see... Christine.
No. Oh no.
Frantically, Christine Saunders tries to pull her car away from the curb. Her gears shriek in protest. The engine stalls. And she stares in voiceless horror as the man-wolf leaps. Okay, time for a snappy scene change. Only this one's going to be a bit tricky. 10 minutes ago, 8 blocks downtown, framed in a circle of moonlight, Spider-Man. Guess I had it coming from NJ. I have been pretty grim lately. But what am I supposed to be? Happy? Glad that I've seen the girl I love die? Maybe I have been self-centered. But so what? Haven't I got a right to feel sorry for myself? My life hasn't been exactly frolic-filled. From Jonah Jameson on down to crummy clowns in werewolf costumes. I've been put down, beat up, cursed. Hey, wait a minute. My subconscious must have been working overtime, because it just put 2 and 2 together and came up with 4. That costume the man-wolf was wearing, it wasn't fabric. It was some sort of insulation material. The kind used on spacesuits for astronauts. And it just hit me, who I know that has an astronaut son, and who was attacked by a werewolf in astronaut clothing. J. Jonah Jameson. A quick glance in the Manhattan telephone directory tells our hero what he needs to know. And so, bingo! It's the man-wolf! And it seems I'm right on time. Whoops! Got you mad, didn't I? Well, it doesn't really matter, 'cause I'm about to try out a theory I've worked up. And if it turns out I'm wrong, my chances for getting out of this scene with my skin on are pretty slim anyway. Here goes nothing, Chuckles. It's my guess that pendant is what's making you a werewolf. And once my webbing cuts off the lunar rays, it should... Uh-huh. So much for that idea, Bunky. Time for Plan B. Mainly, when in doubt, punch out! Sloppy but effective. See what I mean? Nope. I guess you don't see, do you?
Spider-Man, don't let him get near me! Ah!
Go ahead, lady. Scream. That's really helping. Why don't you call a cop or something? Or do I have to do this all by myself? Okay, Buster. That does it. The kid gloves are off. And so's that pendant, mister. Even if I have to tear it off. Dear Lord, I didn't realize. That pendant had grafted itself onto his skin.
Spider-Man, what's happening to him? He's changing.
Before two sets of staring eyes, the transformation begins. And as it progresses, one set of eyes becomes blank with horror when the identity of the monster becomes apparent. All too painfully apparent.
John! Son, are you all right?
He's just fine, Jameson. Now that this thing is off of him. Better get him a doctor, though. Just like you should have in the first place.
A doctor? But the publicity!
Publicity? Mister, your son's life was at stake. Not to mention the lives of the people he might have killed. Who knows? Maybe he's already killed someone. If he hasn't, it was luck. Just like it was luck he didn't kill this lady. He tried to.
Johnny, are you okay? Papa Jonah, is he okay?
Answer her, Jameson. Tell her everything's real swell. Maybe someday you'll even begin to believe it yourself.
Spider-Man, wait,
Save it for the papers, Jonah. Save it for tomorrow. Next issue. Where Stalks the Kangaroo? So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, that'd be appreciated. If you have any requests you want me to do, just let me know in the comments. And I'll tell you when I can do the request. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys later.